Hello, I'm Braden, and today I'm going to read a passage from the newest book in my Magicsmith series. It's titled Of Mettle Magic. It just came out last week. My hands went numb after the first 5 minutes. The cuffs were digging into my back. I shifted, trying to find a more comfortable position, but when I moved, the man in the passenger seat glared at me. I sighed and tried to focus on the scenery blurring past. Fields, snow, winter trees, more fields. I sighed again. The man driving my car was lean and young, with gelled blonde hair. I looked at the profile of the man who'd walked me to the car. His eyes were narrowed, scanning the horizon. His lips were pinched tight, and a small muscle twitched in his jaw. "Any leads yet on who attacked the church?" I asked. The driver's electric blue gaze snapped to the rearview mirror, then slid sideways toward his partner. The tense man glared over his shoulder, his dark eyes looking almost black. He punched a button on the dash, and scratchy country music filtered into the cab. Guess my escorts weren't up for conversation. I shifted again, finally managing to twist enough that my wrists weren't being crushed, and stared out the window. Field, snow, trees, lightning. Wait, what? The SUV flipped sideways, and all I saw was sky. The roof slammed into the ground, buckling slightly. My seatbelt snapped tight, knocking my breath out and digging into my collarbone. My skin tingled. My ears were ringing. Ribbons of purple energy danced over the vehicle's walls. In the front seat, Mr. Grumpy popped his seatbelt and crashed to the ceiling. He pressed a finger to the driver's neck, looked back at me, then twisted and kicked out his window. He crawled through the hole, gun drawn. Pops and bangs sounded outside the SUV. Who had attacked the convoy? Why? Were the people who'd attacked the church hitting random PTF patrols now? I shook my head and instantly regretted it as a wave of dizziness and nausea swept through me. I was having trouble seeing out of my left eye. The door next to me opened with a groan and the screech of metal scraping metal. Scuffed black boots stepped into view, a stark contrast to the snow. Black cargo pants bent at the knees and waist. A face I'd never seen before dropped into view. The man who reached for me had tan skin and narrow features. Salt and pepper stubble covered his angular chin, and dark bags of skin sagged under his dull green eyes. He tugged once at my seatbelt, but the latch was stuck. Then he pulled a long knife from a sheath at his waist and cut the straps. I hit the ground hard, unable to catch myself since my hands were still bound behind me. With gravity righted, blood dribbled down my face from a cut above my left eye. "Who are you?" I gasped. "What's going on?" The man grabbed the back of my shirt and dragged me out of the car. My knees sank in snow. The cold air helped clear my head. "Stay low," the man beside me said. He sheathed his knife and replaced it with a gun, then inched up to peek over the car. I did likewise. Across a patch of white fields scattered with debris, I spotted the second PTF vehicle. Like mine, it was lying on its roof, windows broken. One wheel was still spinning. The woman and the driver of the second car were crouched behind the mangled wreck, using it as cover. The man who dragged me out of Sheila's was lying in the snow about 5 feet from the front of my SUV. He was breathing heavily, and the snow around him was streaked red, but he continued to fire his gun at a cluster of trees off to the right. A purplish ball of light zipped out of those trees and hit the man on the ground. His back arched. 3 more shots left his gun. Then he dropped face first in the snow and was still. Whoever was attacking the PTF clearly had magic. Maybe during the hour I'd sat in Sheila's sipping my milkshake, the Fae had taken credit for the attack in Italy, and now they were clearing out any PTF agents they spotted. I squinted at the man next to me. He looked human, and he didn't have the glow of a glamour about him, but I'd come across Faes strong enough to fool me before. Had Bale sent them to fetch me? To drag me back to enchantment in some misguided attempt to keep me safe? I wouldn't put it past him. The man beside me turned his gun toward the 2 agents hunkered behind the other SUV. Barely thinking, I slammed my shoulder into his side, sandwiching him against the open door. He grunted. His gun flashed. I didn't wait to see him fall. I was up and running, away from the PTF, away from the Fae. I made it 20, maybe 30 feet. Puffs of icy powder exploded around me as bullets buried themselves in the frozen ground. Then a ball of pure agony hit me square in the back. Purple lightning arced over my body, short-circuiting my motor control. I toppled to the ground. Once more, unable to brace against the impact, I twisted to land on my back rather than my face. Waves of cramps seized my muscles, and I flopped like a suffocating fish. "Alex, what's happening?" James's panic coursed through me, matching my own, but I didn't have the energy to respond. The pain passed, spreading to numbness. Twitching limply and gasping, I stared up at pale gray clouds. "Alex?" James's voice grew dim as darkness bled across the overcast sky, and I succumbed to oblivion. That was a passage from Of Mettle Magic, the 5th book in my Magicsmith series. Thanks so much for listening, and happy reading!